It's been a little while. Basically, I haven't put anything on YouTube for quite some days because I just haven't had time to do anything. And I have been meaning to because I thoroughly enjoy the process of filming these things, editing them, and getting them up there. But the editing takes a very long time, even though you wouldn't guess by the end product of everything that you can see. But I do like to tweak a lot. I was going to say I'm sorry for not uploading anything, but who really cares? Quick little one today. I just wanted to talk about the Apple Watch. Tell me if I can show it. The Apple Watch Series 3 and 3 of my favorite features on this. Tap to that. Look, I've achieved all my goals for today. 3 of my favorite things about the Apple Watch Series 3 since I've owned it. I bought it about 10 days ago. And for the first 3 days, I didn't really think it was worth the money. I didn't find that I was getting what I thought I would get from it. So I was pretty much set on returning it. I paid about £300 for it. And I just don't think that the device was justifying the spend. My initial reasoning for buying it is because I wanted to take my phone, toss it in my bag, and still be able to walk around town while getting notifications on my wrist. Essentially, I'm trying to distance myself from this device a little bit more, and I figure an additional device would be the thing that would help me do that. Is that counterintuitive? I don't know. Kind of like breaking up with my phone but still texting it every day. I don't know if that's a good analogy. I just didn't want to use my phone so much, so I bought something that would help me use it less, but was an additional feature. Anyway, after about 4 or 5 days of using the watch, I sort of fell in love with it a bit and decided I'm going to keep it. And at the moment, there's 3 main reasons why. The first one is the native workouts app, which comes with the phone. Comes with the watch. Essentially, it's just an app that is already built in. You tap on it and it gives you a list of things that you can do: indoor walk, indoor run, outdoor run, cycle, etc, etc. Swim if you want to swim in the sea or in a swimming pool, and it'll give you a list of those options so that you can tap on one of them, and then you can set a target for either distance if you're going for a run, or time if you want to be out on a walk for a certain amount of time, or the amount of calories burnt if you just want to smash like 250 calories in a little brief workout. Not necessarily brief, but one dedicated session where you're trying to get that many calories. I used to have the Nike Fuel Band, and what I really liked about that, again, it didn't give you as much detail or functionality as the watch does, but what I liked about the Nike Fuel Band is that you set your target for the day, and then if it gets to like 9 o'clock at night and you haven't reached it fully, you haven't got the completion goal, it did used to make me want to get up and maybe go for a walk or a little jog or just do something to get that target. This is what I'm finding with this now, with the workouts app, because you can set these little targets, and you know, it's nice to have a deliberate thing. So when I'm out for a walk with the dog, perhaps this is the best way to do it. Talk about the watch while I'm using it. Look maniacal. Currently out on a walk with Dexter. There he is. At the moment I'm in the middle of a outdoor walk with an open goal. Open goal means you just walk, and then when all said and done, it'll give you your stats of how far you went, the time, how many calories you burned, etc, etc. But what you can do instead of an open goal, that's better. What you can do instead of an open goal is set a goal. For example, I want to burn this many calories, or I want to do this distance, or I want to be out for this long. And something amazing just came to mind. In the situation that I'm in, sometimes during my work day I can get the dog out for a quick walk, but I've only got, say, an hour to do so. So what you can do is set a timer to go for an outdoor walk for 1 hour, and at the halfway point of what you've set, you did it for an hour, at the 30-minute mark, the watch will give you a little tap on the wrist and a little alert to say you're halfway through your goal. Now that's very useful if you want to be out enjoying the environment without having to check the time all the time. Set the goal, halfway through it'll give you a notification, you know that you've gone halfway out, now it's time to come half an hour back. And I know it's stupid because we don't really need technology to make us feel like we're doing healthy things when we're out in nature, but when I'm out with the dog and I'm going to be out for a while and I've got a little bit of a goal to get him walked in an hour, it's nice to set that thing and just see how well I'm doing, how many steps I've taken, calories burned, the distance I've done, the time it took, and all that sort of thing. Which leads me on to the second thing that I love about this watch the most. The second thing I'm thoroughly enjoying about the watch is the activity tracking aspect. So with the activity tracking, you've got 3 different rings that you need to try and complete in a day. The red ring is the amount of active calories you've burnt, so that comes from being up and moving around. The green ring in the middle of the 2 rings, not the very center one, the green ring is the amount of exercise minutes you've done in a day, and that's when your heart rate is elevated more than just your activity heart rate. And then finally, the blue ring in the very center is the amount of hours in the day that you have stood up for. I think it's for longer than like 1 or 2 minutes. I think the idea behind that is that people who work office jobs and sit down at desks all day, that sort of stationary lifestyle isn't very good for you, so you should get up every hour and do a little bit of walking. Fortunately, my job doesn't apply to that, or that doesn't apply to my job. I'm constantly on my feet. So today, for example, I've got 14 hours out of the 12 that it suggests where I've been on my feet and walking around. And the third thing that I really enjoy about this watch is the Breathe app, which is essentially a way of helping you just it gives you the option of 1 up to 5 minutes. I would like it to be maybe more, so if you're trying to do a proper meditation session, you could set it to maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But at the moment, 5 is the maximum, and it just allows you to sit down and breathe deeply for a while. The idea is that you can go into the settings and you can set the amount of breaths you want to take during the session. So I think I've got mine set to 4 breaths a minute, and there's a little graphic on the screen which I don't tend to use very much, which indicates when you need to breathe in and breathe out. Generally I've got my eyes closed, so I'm not watching the watch. But then there's also the handy little thing of the haptic thing inside that vibrates on your wrist. So anytime you're due to breathe in, it gives you a little tap 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 in that sort of style. So you start to breathe in, breath gets deeper, and then when it stops, you exhale. Essentially, it just does that over and over again until you've completed the session of either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 minutes. Again, like I said, I would like to be able to program it for longer times, but at the moment 5 is the maximum. It does give you the option that once you finish the session, you can just press breathe again, and it will give you the same time you've just done, and allow you to go through that again. So every morning I wake up now, have a shower, put the watch on the wrist, make a cup of tea, and while the tea's cooling, I will sit here for 10 minutes and I will just breathe in and out and use this. They call it mindful minutes when you log into your activity health data thing on the iPhone. I've been interested in meditation for quite a while, and I've dabbled with it here and there, but one thing I've struggled with mindfulness, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, I just want to interject here to let you know that there's an excellent episode of the Duncan Trussell Family Hour podcast that he released on the 11th of May, where he's talking with David Nickturn, who is his mindfulness meditation teacher, and it's just a nice little discussion about the correct way to meditate, and that people are often trying too hard with it, which is something I fall victim to. And seeing as I'm talking about this now, excellent listen if you're interested in meditation. The Duncan Trussell Family Hour podcast with David Nickturn on the 11th of May 2018. My mind wanders, so when I'm trying to concentrate on my breath and breathing in and out, I do find that thoughts come and go, and that's not a bad thing. That's part of the point of meditation, I suppose, is just to notice what's happening. But with this little haptic feedback, tap 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 on the wrist, I find that it sort of allows me to not think about the thoughts that are coming into mind and focus more on when I should be inhaling and when I should be exhaling. And that's it really. That's 3 things that I really enjoy about the Apple Watch that I didn't necessarily plan on, because they're not things that I think people will talk about too much. Most people would want an Apple Watch just to be like, I've got an Apple Watch, I've got a fancy piece of tech on my wrist. But the technology doesn't really matter so much as what the technology allows us to do. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Maybe you got something out of this, I don't know. If you did, feel free to leave a like and a comment. Consider subscribing. Again, I am trying to grow this channel, but it is slow progress. But slow progress is better than no progress, as they say. Hope you all have a fantastic week. Looks like we're going to have some nice weather here this weekend, so I'm planning on getting out and about, racking up some activity points, and I don't know, maybe fly the drone or take some pictures of something. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.